offshore in that area.
Yeah.
What other projects have we got? Or what's the sort of process? It's a very simple process. I think a lot of people ask us, do they need to be in Dubai, or what's the process when sort of purchasing over here?
Yeah, well, once again, another factor of the market being so red hot is that the actual purchasing process is quite simple. Obviously, what we've outlaid is you still need, the right people to help guide you through, find the right property for you. But in terms of actually going through the transaction, for an off-plan property, it is pretty seamless. So all we really need is your passport, a signed reservation form, and the initial payment to the developer, and you've essentially taken the first step to buying a property here in Dubai. So you don't need to be physically present in Dubai. You can be anywhere around the world, and I guess just having access to a smartphone and your internet connection, you can participate in this market. So that's the first step of the process, and then after that, the subsequent payments and sort of the SPA, your official contract, which can all be facilitated by us. And a very seamless process in the end.
Yeah. Another question we get asked is how safe is it really to sort of invest in Dubai? And look, it was obviously regulated back in 2008, so developers obviously can't put a project out for sale or start taking EOIs unless they've got an escrow account open. So an escrow account is obviously a third-party account where obviously your money's paid into, the developer can't take it out till certain stages, through the actual time frame. And also another thing that they do is once you've signed your SPA or your sales purchase agreement, like your contract, you would then, the administration of that company would then apply for a NACUD. So NACUD is a pre-title deed, which then shows that you obviously purchased that property. It's obviously being built, and then once the property is being completed, then you get your full title deed. So I think it's actually a little bit better than sort of what they do in Australia, I think.
Yeah. Most definitely. I guess they had to, their whole plan is built on foreign investment and people moving here. And I guess, they needed to put some safeguards and some procedures in place to, make investors feel comfortable. But it's certainly quite regulated in that regard. So fairly easy, smooth process to purchase, but there are safeguards to protect investors in there as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So we've just had a question come in, which is a good one actually. Can you get a mortgage on an off-plan property? So you certainly can. You can get a mortgage as a non-resident. You can borrow up to 60%, but you can only apply for the mortgage, just prior to handover. So the mortgage can only be for that basically final subsequent payment on the payment plan. So say for instance, if something's a 50-50 payment plan, then the client would need to pay the 50% during the construction. But yes, at the time of handover for a non-resident, it is possible to mortgage that final. They can do up to 60%, but depending on the payment plan, if the final balance payment is less than that, then obviously they can only mortgage that amount.
Another question that we've had come in is, can you sell an off-plan property before it's completed? And yes, you can. It's just a matter of checking with that particular developer. They might have certain timeframes when you can actually sell it. Some could be 40% once you've paid a 40% of your payments, or it could be 50%. So yes, you can. It's just a matter of double checking to see, and we would obviously assist you with that. And we would then obviously advise when is a good time to actually sell. So yeah, you definitely can.
How long is the process to buy an off-plan property? It's actually pretty quick once we've, I guess, established the key things in terms of budget, payment plan, timeline, all those type of things. It's actually very easy. Literally send the passport, the initial deposit payment, and also sign the initial reservation fee. So all that could be done within the space of an hour, I suppose, just depending on the person's internet connection and their time zone of what part of the world they're in. But the actual paperwork process for that initial first step is very easy, can be done very quickly.
And another thing, I think a lot of people don't realize, you can actually buy property here with crypto.
Yes, that is another thing as well. So I guess part of the market being so active, they're open for business. So there's a lot of different avenues for people to purchase, and certainly crypto is one that we've helped quite a lot of clients with here at the company, and that's another big one for people.
And no tax on the crypto as well.
Yes, which is very helpful.
Is good. Yeah. Another question that's come in is Dubai in a bubble, or when's the bubble going to burst? I look at it in this way. So look, obviously people look at it as being a bubble when your prices are really escalating, and probably your economy is probably maybe going down. Dubai's economy obviously keeps growing, so I don't see it really being a bubble at all. Or bursting at any stage. With the amount of people that are actually moving to Dubai and the population growth, You know, like we said, there's close to 160,000 people moved here over the last year. So our economy is very, very strong. Yes, prices are going up just because there's a demand for it. More and more people moving here wanting to live here for obviously those reasons. So yeah, I don't see it being a bubble. I think maybe in the next few years, yes, there is a lot of units maybe coming to the market. Rents are pretty high at the moment, or have escalated, I think, after COVID, which I think is normal. But I think maybe those rents might plateau off for a little bit, but I still see the growth continuing.
Yeah, I think it's a good point in terms of what I was saying earlier about just Dubai's position on that price per square foot index as well. So we're sitting around 75th. We're nowhere near a lot of the most expensive major cities around the world, like your Sydneys, your New Yorks, your Londons. So I certainly, whilst prices have gone up quite a lot in the last few years, no doubt about it, I still think there's a lot of room for Dubai to move up based on that. And also for the simple fact, as we said before, I think, you know, Dubai's got a plan. They want foreign investment. They want the population to double from what it is now by 2040. So I can't see anything that would make Dubai change its trajectory or its plan to keep improving the city and make it a destination for people. So I guess Dubai's doing its thing. And look, unfortunately, I think the rest of the world as well will continue to probably have challenges, I suppose, going forward with high taxes and inflation and that type of thing. So I think if that keeps happening, more and more people will want to invest or move to Dubai. So I think those things will keep happening. And there's also not a lot of transactions going through, you know, on big debt, like, you know, the Australian real estate market, US real estate market, it's quite leveraged. There's a lot of debt behind the property there, whereas that's certainly not the case in Dubai at all.
I think it's like over 60% of people that actually purchase here are actually cash buyers.
That's right. So yeah, you got around about 60% of, you know, just pure cash transactions going through, and only 40% mortgaged, which, you know, there's very few real estate markets in the world that can say that.
And the latest bubble index, I think we were quite low. We were really in the green, so we're very, very positive. And as I was sort of mentioning, our GDP was about 4.1 last year, which is about 100% higher than most sort of countries. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of strong economy here.
Yeah, and look, I think as you said as well, you know, going forward over the next couple of years, you may see things plateau, stabilise a little bit, but even so, I mean, where would you have your money? Would you rather have it in your home country, back in Australia, or would you still have it in, you know, Dubai, you know, doing all the things we've talked about?
No, definitely.
Well, thank you very much for joining. If you have any questions in relation to what we've just gone through, please feel free to send us a message. We're more than happy to have a personalised chat over Zoom or on a phone call. And yeah, we look forward to assisting you further.